I guess so, but yeah, I wasn't really.
I'm trying to remember your whole history.
Yeah. I mean, my parents were all in acting. But
Right.
I was just, that stuff always terrified me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I didn't get. I think like maybe if you have enough of those genes, they like sort of. They're like magnets. They like polarize you the other way or something.
Then it all manifested itself into the musical world.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like everybody skis.
Yeah.
And I can't ski to save my life.
Right.
It's a disaster.
I've never even tried, so there you go.
You haven't? Oh, shoot.
I'm a great sledder, though.
Are you? I've never sledded.
You know those things where there's some things that are never too late to learn?
Yeah?
Skiing.
That's not one of them?
Yeah. Probably.
At this point, just stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. It's not really something you want to experiment.
I think surfing's the same way, but I still try, but I think it's along the same lines. But at least you're wet and feel good in the water. Yeah.
You fall in the water.
You still have a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm terrified of falling in the water. Yeah. Like face planting.
Oh, God.
Like, at least you can always breathe when you're in the snow.
Well, that's true.
Even if your leg is broken.
Right. Mangled mess, you're not going to drown, right? Yeah. We're cool. All right. What do you do, Alison, when you're not playing music?
I go jogging. I watch lots of movies. I read. Walk my dog. Ooh, this is all sounding so rock and roll. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Well, we know you're a rock and roller, so that's besides the point. But yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But all right, since you mentioned your dog, let's get this out of the way first, because we love dogs on this show.
Okay.
We're doing almost daily doggy segments. That's why it's come up.
Oh, okay. Got it.
We can get you to email a picture of you and the dog maybe later for the segment.
Okay.
But we've heard that you have this beautiful little dog.
He is. Yeah, he's a rock star. He's darling. People say he looks like an Ewok. That's like the best description of him.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You take him to gigs? Does he know your musical side?
He's been in very many rehearsals and also in the songwriting process. He sleeps and I write. But yeah, no, he's just like a really great little soul, like very present and very joyful, and he I don't know, he keeps me balanced because I can get so like dark and then I look at him and he's just so goofy and everything's better.
Okay, we'll talk because it doesn't appear so in the little smidgen I know of you. Although there's all kinds of things in your music, of course, all different dark and light and everything. But there's a dark side to you that maybe people don't know about then.
Well, I think actually people might know a bit more of the dark side of me than the light. Like especially on One Cell in the Sea, our first album, it was quite melancholic and sad, and people were like, "Oh, you must be just like a miserable person," and I'm like, "Oh, no." I mean, sometimes when you're writing, that's like the side that you access because that's sort of very real. And then on this particular album, I think more of the fun side is coming out.
Yeah, was it time for that? Was that a natural kind of organic thing that just kind of happened with this record that side of you emerged?
Yeah, definitely, and it was also a choice because, I really wanted to have fun and challenge myself and not just sink into things, but to try to pull myself out of them with music, and so this album, that was sort of the approach is positivity and being uplifted.
Mm-hmm. But big time, even just musically, there's dance songs in this album. You can almost say it's just a fun record in lots of ways. Was that fun for you to? Then you can translate that to the stage as well. Just doing something that has that kind of different kind of pulse to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. When I wrote Electric Twist, I was like, wow! I was playing it and I was like rocking out, and it kind of freaked me out at first. So I was like, is this a joke? Am I writing a joke song? Like, I don't write dance songs, but it was so much fun to do in the studio, and it's so much fun to play live, and there's just a lot more, there's a different energy to this show it's really fun. Do
you immediately then think of yourself as a different artist? You kind of look at that palette like, what, I'm something different now. People are going to see a different side of me. I'm not what people thought of A Fine Frenzy on the last record.
No, I think it's just it's growth, really. I mean, not only just being a couple of years older, but having experienced the world, and I was such a serious kid and such a serious teenager, and I feel like the only way I can go is less serious and more fun. Like, there's no way to get any more serious than I was at like 2. Mm-hmm. So it's just all opening up. So it's not a different person. It's just another side.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Mm-hmm. Is it fun though, in terms of that perception though, for people that may know you as one thing, to fans that have been with you for years, all of a sudden, what kind of, Twitter emails have you gotten from people or comments in terms of the new direction? Are people surprised right away? Like, wow, what are you doing? That kind of thing?
Yeah, people are definitely surprised. They're like, wow, there's like drums, and it's, it's danceable, and there's loud guitars on some of them, and there's a lot more folk elements. But I think even the people that were like pretty hardcore, like, I Want Another, Almost Lover, are kind of warming up to the album. And I mean, I know that I get the same way. Like, if I really love an artist's album, be it their first, second, third, whatever it is, you kind of get like obsessed with that, and you want them to do exactly the same thing every time. But as an artist, you can't really repeat yourself without having diminishing returns, really, because you wrote that one, and that was that, capturing that moment, and all you can do really is just do your best to capture moments and be sincere. So I think people are definitely getting used to it.
Mm-hmm. And the response from what I've read and seen out there has been amazing in terms of the critical reviews and just the reaction to this. What does that feel like now that you put this out in the world and people are hearing it? The people are responding in kind.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't nervous until right before it came out. I was completely fine, and I think partially with the interviews, almost every time was like, so are you nervous about the second album? People are expecting a lot, blah, 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 and I was like, wasn't, but now I am. And it's, it's always nice to hear that people like what you're doing. I mean, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talk about this video, because you mentioned fun. This is so much fun to watch. Was it as much fun to make? Because you're smiling through the whole thing. You ended up up in the air, literally flying in this video. Just talk about the whole production and how much fun that was, and whose idea it was, the whole thing.
It was sort of a collaboration. A friend of mine is he's predominantly a commercial director, but he does a lot of other directing as well. He directs films and things. And we had sort of talked about maybe doing something together, and he's super wacky and kooky, but awesome. And I had this idea of being a girl who has wings and doesn't know how to use them, because I just thought, that would be so sad, like if you were born with wings and you couldn't fly. And so we just came up with this concept, and I'm terrified of heights, like terrified. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to fly, and we're going to do it the real way, and it's going to be in a harness. And then I got to the rehearsal, the fitting for the wings and everything, and like they had the harness that I was going to try out, and I was like, But you know what, the actual making of it was incredible, and it was so beautiful out that day as well. And the feeling of the flying was something I'll never forget. It's like, anybody that ever has run as fast as they could knows, like, you feel almost like you're at the brink of taking off. And so to run as fast as I could and then actually lift off the ground was amazing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you look great in the video, too, with your outfit, and you always look cool. Talk just for a second, just talk about just, like, the energy that goes into to your look, and kind of, which I have to say, people expect to see something on the cover, and your hair, it's all in black and white. Was that a conscious decision to kind of switch it up and do something different, or just?
No, I mean, it was, I wanted to sort of change the way that I was dressing just to fit the music, because actually a lot of the way that I was dressing before, I can't do this new music in. It was all like dresses meant for the piano, and a lot of them I couldn't raise my arms over my head, and so I had to sort of reevaluate. And the black and white cover was not like a choice to get away from my hair color. It was just the picture was the right picture. So, yeah.
But it's something kind of new in some ways, along with the sound. At least that was the impression I got. This is certainly a new record and a new feel and a whole new thing going on.
Yeah, it's very different, but it's still the same there's the same thread going through
Sure,
it, I think.
sure.
Yeah.
Talk about this whole Twitter thing and the whole phenomenon. Just when you took to that and when you realized people were kind of taking to you.
The Twitter thing is amazing. I don't know. I mean, I was originally tweeting from quite a long time ago, actually, when Twitter had just come out, and I had maybe a couple hundred followers, and it kind of grew to 1,000 maybe. And my grandmother was pretty much the main reason that I was tweeting at the beginning, because I couldn't always call and say hi, I'm in blah 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 and I'm doing this. So I would just tweet and she would read them and she would print them out for my grandfather and he would read them. And so initially it was just a way of sort of checking in with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And then Twitter was great. They put me as a suggested user, which I didn't even know what that was. They just asked me to put up a little blurb, and so I did, and more and more people started coming, and it was just crazy. It was, by the thousands, and turned into this sort of phenomenon, the whole Twitter phenomenon, and it was wild. And I don't know, I write tweets about spiderwebs and what I ate for breakfast. I mean, I don't really know.
It's weird to think how many people are paying attention to those little tweets about your breakfast. Is there a responsibility then? Do you get worried about what you're writing with each tweet?
Well, I did for a minute. I got sort of tweet fright. So I was like, oh my God, there's so many people that are reading this, and I have to say something really interesting. And so I just didn't say anything at all, and that didn't work. So then I'm just, so obviously they're reading it for a reason, and they wanted to follow you for a reason. And if they don't like it, they can just unfollow you.
Yeah. One of the benefits, not the impetus for it, but one of the benefits, this can translate obviously into all those people buying the new record. That's obviously a plus. How much of that is, maybe other people are telling you how great that is, but it's a good marketing thing as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, any way that you can be in touch with that many people and to have them just be aware, that you actually have a record coming out, because for an artist, a release date is such a big deal. It's for months, and you're working towards your release date. And for somebody that just buys a record, it's just, oh, that record's out. Oh, how long has it been out? Oh, I don't know. It's not the same thing. So it's cool to be able to remind people and say, it's there now if you want it.
Mm-hmm. Is there an extra also added confidence, like those million people kind of behind you when you're doing your thing, that you have, not that you didn't have, your fan base exists and you see them at the shows and all that, but it's kind of a constant reminder when you see that number, this many people are following you on a daily basis?
I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, it's very strange, but it's lovely. And, I hope that it translates. I hope that they get the record and that they also feel connected, because it really is me and it is really my life. So if that's an extra layer that makes them feel more attached to the music, then that's great.
Mm-hmm. All those people will be coming out to see you on tour in a matter of days, really, right? This kicks off in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, in a couple of weeks, yeah.
Tell people what they can expect on the big Fine Frenzy tour.
Our show is going to be really fun. It's a much more energetic show. I used to stay at the piano, and then maybe I'd escape for a song or two, and then I'd run back to the piano. And this one is much more fluid, and we've added 2 members to the band. So now there's 5 of us, Steven, Jesse, Omar, Ryan, and I, and it's super cool. People change instruments, and there's just a lot of motion in the show, and there's a lot of high highs where it's really loud, and then there are a lot of really quiet moments. Mm-hmm. It's super fun. I can't wait.
What's that vibe for you when you're out there doing the more emotion part of it, stuff maybe you haven't done as much of before, and is it a whole different feeling when you're performing? If you can kind of put yourself into that place and describe what it's like to be up there and dancing and playing these new songs.
It's empowering, because I've always been somebody that loves to dance and loves to loves to connect with an audience, but for some reason I just got afraid for a while, and so it feels really great to just step out and kind of and connect with people and be free and run around. And if I look stupid accidentally, it's fine. It doesn't matter. At least it's it's real. The whole show, everything is real. And it's just a great feeling. The music is very full too, so it just Perhaps for only like a hug.
Everyone come out and get hugged.
Yeah, come on, get hugged by a frenzy.
How excited are you about what this year can hold with this album and with this tour? This is obviously an exciting time going forward. Is this, you feel like you're on the precipice of even greater success? Is it kind of that vibe coming at you?
It definitely feels like a precipice, yeah. I mean, for me, the greatest success really is just to be able to continue to do it, you know, and to continue to connect with people and hopefully have an effect on people emotionally. And so as long as we get to do that, you know, and make more and more music, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. What kind of things do fans tell you? I'm sure people come up and tell you real personal stories and things, how your songs touch them. What's that like for you, either via email or after a show or something like that, when someone comes up and says a song changed their life or something like that?
Those moments are super humbling, you know, and really put it all into perspective. Like that's really the point at the end of the day, to have a song or an album make an impact on a person's life. And I know music has had such a huge effect on me in my life, so to get to do that for someone else it's really amazing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alison. That was great.
Yeah.